What is an Excel pivot table? Excel pivot tables are powerful data analysis tools that enable users to summarize large amounts of data and extract meaningful insights with ease. With their user-friendly interface, pivot tables allow you to transform raw data into organized and visual reports, making complex data analysis simple. Essentially, a pivot table in Excel allows you to generate interactive tables and charts by reorganizing, categorizing, and summarizing data from a spreadsheet or external data source. Through the drag-and-drop functionality, you can effortlessly manipulate your data to answer specific questions or uncover patterns and trends within the information. How does it work? To create a pivot table, you start by selecting the data you want to analyze. Excel allows you to choose data from a range of cells within a spreadsheet or even from an external database. Once you have selected the data, you can create the pivot table by utilizing the tools and options available in the Pivot Table tab. After creating the pivot table, you can customize it further by moving fields to different areas, such as rows, columns, values, or filters. These fields represent the columns and rows from your original data, and by arranging them, you can generate a meaningful summary of the information. Benefits of using pivot tables. 1. Efficiency. Pivot tables expedite the data analysis process by eliminating the need for complex formulas or extensive manual sorting. With just a few clicks, you can transform raw data into comprehensive reports, saving significant time and effort. 2. Flexibility. Pivot tables offer tremendous flexibility in how you organize and present your data. By rearranging fields and applying filters, you can quickly switch between different views and explore various aspects of your data. 3. Insights. Pivot tables enable you to uncover valuable insights from seemingly overwhelming data sets. By summarizing and aggregating information, you can spot trends, outliers, or correlations that may not be readily apparent from the raw data. 4. Visualizations. Excel pivot tables allow you to present your data visually through charts and graphs, making it easier for others to understand and interpret the information. Visual representations enhance the overall communication and impact of your analysis. Please check this examples. Example 1. Example scenario. Let's assume you work for a shipping company and have been provided with a huge container details. The dataset contains columns such as container number, size, port of loading, port of discharge, country of discharge. To gain insights into the discharging port by country, creating a pivot table could simplify the analysis process. 1. Select the cells range you want to create a pivot table from. 2. Select Insert Pivot Table. 3. This creates a pivot table based on an existing table or range. 4. Choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed. Select New Worksheet to place the pivot table in a new worksheet or existing worksheet and select where you want the new pivot table to appear. 5. Choose Data Source. In the Create Pivot Table dialog box, ensure that the dataset range is correctly selected and click OK. Design your pivot table. On the right side of the Excel window, you will see the Pivot Table Fields pane. Here, you can drag and drop columns into the 4 available sections: values, rows, columns, and filters to define your data arrangement. Analyze your data. Once you've organized your pivot table, you can analyze the data in various ways. For instance, you can summarize total number of container in each port to be discharged from the vessel and even insert charts to visualize the data. Example 2. Let's assume you work for a shipping company and have been provided with a dataset of office expenses for the year. The dataset contains columns of 12 months. To gain insights into the expenses by category, creating a pivot table could simplify the analysis process. Creating a pivot table. Step 1. Select the data. Highlight the entire dataset, including headers, by clicking and dragging your mouse over the relevant cells. Step 2. Navigate to the Insert tab, located within Excel's ribbon at the top of the window. Look for the Tables group and click on Pivot Table. Step 3. Choose Data Source. In the Create Pivot Table dialog box, ensure that the dataset range is correctly selected and click OK. Step 4. Design your pivot table. On the right side of the Excel window, you will see the Pivot Table Fields pane. Here, you can drag and drop columns into the 4 available sections, values, rows, columns, and filters, to define your data arrangement.